Thank you, Ceann Comhairle. Taoiseach, the charges that have been laid at the Garda Commissioner's door are incredibly serious. The Government has acknowledged this in making the decision to establish a Commission of Investigation to be chaired by Mr Justice Peter Charlton. It is quite unusual for the Government to have made such a decision to establish a Commission of Investigation without any consultation with the opposition parties. We have not been furnished with a copy of Mr Justice Iarla O'Neill's report, even in redacted form, though it was delivered to the Taoiseach more than 2 months ago. Nor have we been consulted on the terms of reference for the Commission. I don't know if Fianna Fáil, your partners in government, have received advance copies, but for the rest of us in the opposition benches, we haven't, and this isn't good enough. I presume the Government will be making time available for a full debate on the terms of reference, but in the meantime, I have to say that the fact that the Garda Commissioner remains on active duty is troubling. I can't think of another walk of life where, if allegations of this nature have been made against a person in a position of power, they would not be placed on administrative leave until the outcome of the investigation is known. This would be true of a school principal or even a shop manager, and that it is not true for the head of An Garda Síochána, I believe, is troubling. In this case, the allegations are serious enough to warrant a commission of investigation. While some argument could be made for leaving the Commissioner in place while Mr Justice O'Neill carried out his initial investigation, I don't believe it is appropriate that they have direct knowledge of calls made by the Garda Commissioner to journalists during 2013 and 2014, in the course of which the Commissioner made very serious allegations of sexual crimes having been committed by Garda Maurice McCabe. The Commissioner in 2015 oversaw the investigation which examined the call logs of a Garda officer who was under suspicion of leaking material to the media. If it was a fact that the Garda Commissioner was in direct contact with the media, making allegations against one of her own officers at around the same time, it would be quite extraordinary. I don't know, Taoiseach, whether the charges that have been made against the Commissioner are true or not.
Deputy, I'm concerned that you're raising points in the House that are extremely dangerous, that you're taking us into territory that I think we should not be venturing into. I'm concerned at what you're raising, and I don't think it's an appropriate matter to raise.
Can I say that yesterday it was announced that there is to be a commission of inquiry into these matters?
Yeah.
We haven't seen the terms of reference from that. The opposition benches haven't seen the redacted or full report that led the government to make the decision. And what I'm saying now,
you're saying now,
I'm making no allegation.
No, wait now. Sorry, Deputy, just a second. To raise the question of the Commission is perfectly legitimate, absolutely so. But you have just recounted a story, a Dúirt Bán Lum go Dúirt Bán Leahy story relating to a journalist contacting you and referencing clearly the Police Commissioner, the Garda Commissioner. I do not think such a statement is appropriate.
I will be guided by you in these matters. You might recall, Ceann Comhairle.
We don't need interventions now.
You might recall, Ceann Comhairle, I have some track record in these matters.
You do.
Well, on the last occasion that such information was given to me, I went directly to the Garda Commissioner, or to the Minister for Justice, who caused an inquiry into these matters. I ended up in both the High and Supreme Court, where I was told that the proper course of action would have been to raise these matters directly in the House.
We have a long-standing tradition in this House not to name people outside the House who are not in a position to defend themselves.
There is to be a formal inquiry into these matters. I'm saying that I've been contacted by somebody who is willing to give evidence to that Commission, and in the circumstances, it is my belief that the Garda Commissioner should stand aside until the inquiry comes to its own determination, and I ask the Taoiseach to agree with me on that.
Taoiseach.
Agree with you. The matter that you have raised is of the most serious import, and I know you understand that, Deputy Howlin. The Minister for Justice received the report last October from Justice Iarlaith O'Neill on his review of two protected disclosures which deal with matters of privacy, of confidentiality and of constitutional import. Now, the Minister will lay the order before the House today, as is required in dealing with commissions of investigation and matters of protected disclosure. And the report to be published will be what can be published, taking those parameters into account of privacy, confidentiality and constitutional importance. And that will be published today on advice received by the Minister. But the reason for the Commission of Investigation is because Justice O'Neill, in his review, pointed out that his review could not have attempted to establish where the truth lies in respect of the very serious allegations made here. Now, protected disclosures are protected, and the law is there for whistleblowers. But this is an issue where these are all allegations, and they are vehemently denied by the two people against whom the allegations are made. And it is for that purpose that the Attorney General would have spoken to the Chief Justice and the appointment of a judge to deal with this, as announced by the Minister yesterday. There are set procedures, Deputy Howlin, that have to be followed. The Government yesterday approved the Minister's recommendations that a commission should be set up, that the draft order which he brought to Government would be approved, that the order would be laid before the House here, and the statement of reasons in both houses of the Oireachtas would be the approving of the appropriate motions, agree that a suitable person should be appointed to conduct the investigation, and that the issues are followed in correct sequence in that regard. What you have said here has been commented upon by the Count Corla in respect of hearsay, and you've answered that yourself. But as I said, what is at issue here is a series of allegations, the truth of which have not been tested yet, and which I can tell the House are wholly and vehemently denied by those against whom the allegations are made. And these are not circumstances, Deputy Howlin, where a prima facie case of wrongdoing has been established, and Mr. Justice O'Neill makes no findings in relation to anyone. In the case of the Garda Commissioner, as I've said on many occasions, have consistently stated that there has been no finding of any wrongdoing of any kind against her, and in those circumstances she is entitled to our full support, and that remains the position.
Thank you, Taoiseach. In calling you back, Deputy Howlin, can I remind you that in your previous role as Minister, you brought forward legislation to deal with the whole area of confidential communications. So more than most members in this House, you have a very detailed knowledge of the area.
I was going to instance that very legislation, having worked for a very long time to protect whistleblowers, because we have a very poor record in this jurisdiction of listening to whistleblowers or acting upon them. I haven't seen the report because you haven't provided it to us, although you have caused a commission of investigation without any discussion with the opposition parties, which is most unusual. Everybody is entitled to the presumption of innocence, but issues that warrant a full investigation must be held and fully ventilated and fully investigated. And as I say, in the normal course of events, when there are serious issues of this that go to the heart of the administration of justice in our state, people will be asked to stand aside without any predetermination of outcome until there is a full, fair and complete investigation of all the matters concerned and a determination of the outcome. Our primary duty here is to ensure that on Garda Síochána, which has been battered and bruised by many investigations and allegations, that we restore confidence to it. And I think that means that we have decisive and clear action here.
Thank you, Deputy.
From all sides of this House.
Taoiseach.
Well, I say to Deputy Howlin, it's not possible at this stage to put the entire report in the public domain in view of the nature of the allegations that are contained in the protected disclosures. The House will appreciate that there is an obligation, including a general constitutional obligation, to protect the good names and the reputations of persons who may be the subject of untested allegations, and in that regard it's not appropriate to comment any further on that. And deputies will have ample opportunity to debate the issues when the motion to approve the draft order is taken in the House. And furthermore, I must caution that the persons who made the protected disclosures are, pending the laying of the draft order before the House, still entitled to have their identities protected in accordance with the Protected Disclosures Act of 2014. Obviously, the draft order will come in now. And the statement of reasons, Deputy Howlin, will contain Mr O'Neill's conclusions and recommendations and his proposed terms of reference, which are being followed in full. And I might add that those persons against whom the allegations have been made have cooperated fully with Justice O'Neill in his report.
Thank you, Taoiseach.
And obviously would do the same with the Commission of Investigation.